Here is Matt Wintz with a little more on what's happening with this forecast. Matt, we were talking earlier. This is literally a minute-by-minute changing situation. It's very frustrating to try and forecast.
Yeah, it is, and it's a summertime setup. And you know, I say this all the time. The models have such a poor handle on this kind of setup in the summertime, where you get these big complexes of storms that develop, and that really hinges and changes forecasts down the road. So you may see, you know, phone apps been going back and forth on when it's going to rain and all that. So we're going to just give it to you straight here, as we always do, and talk about timing, potential, and obviously what we'll be dealing with later on tonight. If you have evening plans, so we're talking next 4 hours, you're fine. It's hot down to the south. Look at Ravenna spiking 90 at our sensor there, a little bit cooler near the lakeshore, but that heat and humidity is arriving down to the south. It's kind of on hold right now. It really gets in here tomorrow, but you're noticing it's certainly feeling a little stickier outside, and that's because our dew points have come up. We've got a moderate brand of humidity to the north. We've got the tropical brand of humidity down towards the south. Dover, Millersburg sitting with dew points in the 70s. You're going to sweat if you're heading on out this evening. You can marry those two numbers together. Feels more like the 90s down towards the south. A little bit cooler as you get up towards the lakeshore. But there's a plethora of heat and humidity down towards our south. Look at these dew points. It's more humid in Louisville right now, Kentucky, than it is in Florida. That is the kind of air we're dealing with. This heat and humidity is heading northbound, but again, it's along the periphery that Betsy talked about earlier, where we get the train tracks, so to speak, for these large clusters of storms to develop and to kind of roll along those train tracks. And so that's exactly where we're expecting the storms to roll along tonight. We're expecting development, which we're already seeing, areas of Wisconsin and southern Michigan. That will roll southeast. This is your storm threat later on tonight, courtesy of the Storm Prediction Center. And you can see we are in the widespread category there for damaging winds. There'll be maybe some hail with this, but it's mainly the wind threat with these storms as they continue to roll south and east. And yeah, that includes northeast Ohio. So where are we right now? Well, this is what we're watching. We have had some storms down towards Indianapolis. There's been so much lightning with that. Over 400 lightning strikes in the matter of 15 minutes with this. Just incredible lightning. That's not what we're worried about. It looks like it is because it's in our shaded area, but it's not. It's this off towards the north. This has been an ongoing cluster of storms that dates back to last night, way back in Iowa, in areas of the upper Midwest, even the Dakotas. But it's this area of energy as it heads into the warm and humid atmosphere of the next couple hours that's expected to develop into a larger complex of thunderstorms that will roll across areas of Michigan and eventually into northern Ohio. This is just rain, nothing severe with this. This is severe. That little cell you see there has gone from Madison to Milwaukee with very large hail. It's guaranteed hail heading into Milwaukee right now. Well, we're going to watch for. We're going to keep our eye on this for further development. We're also going to keep our eye north and west of that as you get up into Wisconsin. That is likely what we're going to deal with late tonight on into the overnight and the early morning hours. So here's one model I want to show you with your National Design Mart big picture look. Notice how it fires the storms. 10, 11 o'clock in Michigan. We don't have anything yet. We're still dry at 10, but as those roll into northeast Ohio, there you go. We're now talking 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, perhaps some gusty storms around here. And by gusts, we could have wind gusts that are pretty incredible rates out of this if it comes together. Still dealing with some activity as we get into the morning hours. So in terms of threat with any storms tonight, likely a big complex, right? We're talking severe threat of wind. That is going to be the primary threat. Typically, when you get a big cluster of storms like this, you can get winds 70 up to 80 miles per hour. I mean, we're talking some serious wind potential with that. Flooding's going to be the other one. There's copious amounts of moisture up in the atmosphere. Hail and tornadoes, can't rule it out, but that's not going to be the biggest threat tonight. So I want to show you another model. This one has a little bit quicker on the timing of this once it develops. Watch what happens. This is now midnight into 1. We get a complex of storms that rolls across the lake, damaging winds on the leading edge of that possible. That rolls south, so everyone in play with this. Rain lingers into tomorrow morning, so certainly need to keep an eye on the latest on how this develops, and then we'll have a good idea when it comes in. Then we talk heat. There's a plethora of it down to the south, as I mentioned. Look at the feels like temperatures up near 110 in St. Louis. That heat is coming our way. Our hottest day tomorrow's going to be hot, but Wednesday, Thursday, we're talking 90s around here, and the heat indices in terms of records, looks like we're going to be near record high. Your record there in the light or the darker shade of red, but we're talking heat indices up into the hundreds with that humidity. Good news is we get some relief Thursday into Friday around here. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast shows that 90s going down to the 70s by the weekend. What timing for that? But storms are obviously the first thing on our mind here tonight, Betsy.